Hello there guys, Behooded Files here, and today I want to talk to you all about the female custodes controversy and where I stand on the matter. So to keep this story very short and simplistic, the company that makes Warhammer, GW or Games Workshop, have recently come out with a new codex for their custodes army, which if you don't know what a codex is, they're essentially rulebooks that you can play for your different 40k armies. You know, you have your Orc Codex, you have your Tau Codex, and in this case it's the Custodes Codex. In the Codex, it talks about a female Custodes by the name of Kesh, and her getting involved in the Blood Games, which are basically a kind of game that the Custodes play in order to test out the defenses of the Imperial Palace, which is basically where the God Emperor of Mankind, the main godly dude of Warhammer, sits in, and all that other stuff. And in response, when the fans learned about this, they decided to ask GW why there was a, female custodes, I guess. And GW's response was that there'd always been female custodes in the lore. And in response to that, a lot of fans got very, very upset. Started calling GW woke. And over the past few weeks, more and more people have been talking about it, ranging from famous Warhammer 40k YouTubers to right-wing conservative videos just talking about it. But after hearing all these videos and stuff, I decided that I would give my 4 thoughts on the whole female custodes argument and where I stand on the matter, because I have a YouTube channel now, so I thought I would give my thoughts on this whole controversy. So without further ado, let's begin. On one hand, I would have been fine with female custodes, and I think a lot of other Warhammer 40k YouTubers would, if the lore would have just said that they're a new addition and not something that's always existed, which comes up to my second point, that I feel like GW has basically sort of pulled a fast one on us and trying to say, like, oh, female custodes have always existed. Even though, there's no basic evidence for it. Like, maybe if GW had written new lore about the custodes that basically states that they need more members, so decide to start recruiting from females, because they might think that recruiting from males is basically limiting their numbers in a certain way, which I feel like could have made a lot more sense. Sure, would people have all loved it? No, there probably would have been some 40k fans who would have still gotten upset, and I feel like there would have still been many right-wing channels trying to, exploit the hell out of this anyway. But would it have made the whole fandom mad? No, it probably wouldn't have. I feel like half of the fandom would be split, 50-50 line, then it gets forgotten about for a few weeks, and boom, everything goes back to normal. But when they're saying that the custodes have always been female, or always had female members, then that's where the problems start arising. This brings me to my next point. There are many female-based factions in 40k that basically need no introduction if you've already seen these kind of videos for billions of times. The Adeptus Sororitas, the Sisters of Silence, are basically all female orders that still exist within the realms of 40k, yet no one has a problem with them. Why? Because they're actually competently written into the lore in a way that's fun and makes sense. And there's also, female guardsmen and tech priests and, all those other ones. But they also make sense in the context of the lore, as it never states that the tech priests are all male, the same way it never states that the guardsmen are all male. So when female guardsmen or female Adeptus Mechanicus appears, then it obviously would make a lot of sense. But when you have the custodes, who have been stated in multiple lore books to be brothers or sons of the Emperor, only to have new lore state that there are females and that there's always been females, then it's bound to raise a few eyebrows. And they've definitely raised my eyebrows a lot recently due to these new revelations. As a member of the Star Wars fandom, or an old member of the Star Wars fandom, I've seen for firsthand how this kind of stuff can affect a franchise and personally ruin it, or destroy it. I mean, we all know about the whole sequel trilogy, followed up by all the millions of Star Wars TV shows and all the other stuff. But I don't know how to feel, because I got into Warhammer after Star Wars, and now seeing this stuff happen to Warhammer is starting to get me concerned. But on the other hand, I could also just make my own lore about the custodes or whatever. I mean, it's not like they're saying the custodes are all female now. They've just said that the female custodes do exist. So, as long as I guess they keep printing out male models, I could guess like you could probably make your own male custodes. But on the other hand, I don't really know. Overall, though, I don't really feel that much concerned about this change, but the concern is there because I do feel like this is an exploitative tactic by GW at this point. And to be fair, these are the same guys who pretty much made the end times for Warhammer Fantasy. So it's only natural, I guess, for them to start doing what Disney and Warner Bros. Have started doing, that is just pandering towards people, even though their settings already got all this cool stuff in it that a lot of people from different genders and minorities and all that have come together and enjoyed. I don't know. Anyways, what's your thoughts on the female custodes argument? Do you think that female custodes are an okay and a good thing for the lore? Or do you think it's utterly terrible what GW has done and they betrayed the fans and the franchise and this is the end of Warhammer and Warhammer's dead and blah 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 blah? But I don't know. I really hope that this is just going to be that one thing that just gets swept aside and, it doesn't really come up as much. Well, I mean, to be fair, it probably will come up a lot. But, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that it won't come up a lot of the time in the fandom, if you know what I mean. On the other hand, though, knowing the track record, it's fair to say that this could be the end of 40K. And if it is, then I genuinely don't know what else I would want to see anymore. Anyways, this has been the Behooded Files, signing out, and I hope you all have a good day. Just remember, may the Emperor be with us.